Well, hello and welcome to tonight's presentation about Oakland ACE Early Middle College. My name is Amanda McKay, and I'm the Supervisor of Student Programs for Oakland Schools. Oakland ACE Early College is an opportunity for high school students to balance taking high school classes and earning college credit. Our program has been around for over 10 years, and during that time, we've developed a legacy of supporting students to achieve their goals. I'm excited to share with you tonight about our program. Tonight's presentation target audience is for students, families, and school faculty who are considering applying or enrolling in Oakland ACE during their 10th grade year and then beginning the program during their junior year of high school next fall. This presentation is less than 30 minutes long, and I'll pause periodically to answer questions. You may also choose to ask your questions in the chat. I'll do my best to respond. And tonight's presentation is linked in the chat if you want to click on that to follow along. Tonight's presentation will help inform students and parents about the Oakland ACE Early College program. It will cover student eligibility for the program and the enrollment process. So Oakland ACE was created over 10 years ago and officially approved by the Michigan Department of Education as an early middle college program. The program's goals established at that time hold true even to today, even though our students have changed. And we're happy to have a changing student demographic because it allows us the opportunity to get to know what our local Oakland County high school students need, and then figure out ways in which we can serve to meet those needs. Overall, our program goals first are to help our students earn college credit. Originally, the program was created so that students could, by and large part, earn an associate's degree, which is still true. Our program pays for up to 62 college credits, student fees, books, and lab fees, and the program is totally free. However, over the years, more of our students have focused on transfer credits by taking classes from the Michigan Transfer Agreement. This has allowed our program to include educating students about selecting the right fit university, personalizing their course selection process with them through seminar as we get to know where they want to go post-program, help them focus on what courses will transfer to their post-program, and also using transfer guides and guiding them through the college admissions process. Many of our students also earn the Michigan Transfer Agreement Certificate of Participation as part of the program. We also focus on students gaining college confidence that comes from being on OCC's college campuses and taking actual college courses among other college students. High school students have the opportunity to choose from attending classes at 5 OCC campuses. As they experience college life, we support them during a weekly seminar class so they can be confident and successful. During seminar, which happens one time per week for 90 minutes with our Oakland ACE counselor, students learn everything from navigating the geography of college campus, time management, reading their syllabus, preparing for college exams, which are coming up, organization and motivation. Through hands-on real-life experiences built into seminars, students will gain weekly expertise on how to be successful in college. So that's one of our other program goals. Our third goal is to help students with long-term planning. Students begin our program and seminar learning more about themselves and the types of careers that align with their personalities and long-term life goals. Students may come to our program saying, I am certain that I want to attend U of M, but not have much of an idea of why they have that as a goal. We help students align their passions and personality strengths with post-program aspirations. Students learn to identify best fit colleges or post-program careers. They also learn more about the financial aspects of paying for college, earning scholarships and applying for them, and applying for financial aid or FAFSA if they want to go ahead with that process. And then finally, after students identify their post-program goals, our fourth goal is that we have students dedicate 40 hours in seminar exploring their future career through research, job shadowing, interviews, and other experiences. And then they earn their Michigan Early Middle College Association certification. So they'll have a MEMCA certificate when they leave the program, which is a point of pride and something that they can proudly talk about as part of their portfolio and during interviews. I'll talk now about the structure of Oakland ACE, which is a 3-year program. Students apply as 10th graders and begin the program in their 11th grade year. Early middle college programs were created by the Michigan Department of Education, and as such, there are certain program requirements we have to adhere to, and adding the 13th year is one of those requirements. The purpose of this requirement is to continue to support students in being successful as they transition into full-time college students the last year of the program. So you can see on the screen that in the 11th grade year, students have 3 high school classes, per semester in the morning. Students will take 2 classes at OCC and they will begin seminar. And that seminar time is from 1:30 to 3 and they attend 1 time per week. Some students do ask if they can remain at their high school a little bit longer for special courses that happen later in the day. And I'll give an example of how that can work in an upcoming slide. In the second year of the program or the student's senior year, they'll be taking 2 high school classes in the morning, again at their high school, 3 OCC classes. They'll still be going to seminar, but the time will change. They'll begin their MEMCA hours, and they'll participate in regular senior year activities at their high school, walking in graduation, attending prom. Students don't actually graduate from high school until the end of their 13th year or the final year of the program, but they do participate in all of the activities. And then the final year of the program, students have all of their classes on OCC's campus. They're taking a full-time schedule of about 12 credits. They attend seminar once a week still for that support, and they are finishing their MEMCA experience. We also have a ceremony for them to officially award their diploma at the end of the program. Here's a sample student schedule that shows how you might be able to keep your students' hours kind of bound into that time period where they're used to having high school, like 7:30 to 2:30 or 3:30. So in this example, you can see how the 11th grade student attends high school for the first few hours of their day. And then they have a transition period where they are going to be going to either their ACE seminar or their 2 different classes at OCC. So you can see that this student in the example is taking composition twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They're taking intro to psych a little bit longer period of time, and they have their seminar on Monday. So they'll be going to OCC's campus 4 days a week. And one thing about our program is transportation is dependent upon the students and families, except for students in Ferndale, because Ferndale provides transportation for students. I wanted to show you an example because we do have a lot of students with us that are athletes or in clubs, and those are definitely really important activities we want students to be able to maintain in their lives. So if you're thinking about setting up those things and to see if they'll work for your student's schedule, a good idea is to kind of take a blank weekly schedule and fill in the different things that your students have going on. If you know that as an 11th grader, varsity football usually practices from 4 to 6, put that in your schedule, 4 to 6 every day, and then build backwards with seminar and the other different things and see if it seems like something that can definitely work for you. As I said, we do have a lot of students who are highly active in clubs and participate in sports, and it can work. It just takes a lot of upfront planning, I promise. Talked about seminar a couple times and what takes place in seminar. Incoming 11th grade students choose from 3 seminar locations and days of the week. The time is set, but the location can vary, and students might start the program saying, I'm going to go to Monday Royal Oak seminar, and find that something has changed and switch to a different location. We do survey our students before every semester to see what locations are preferred and schedule those on the campuses that are preferred. Like right now in this list of options is what we're currently offering. You don't see Auburn Hills or the Southfield campus, but if we were to have groups of students who express interest in those, then we would move our seminar or offer additional seminars. Seminar is led by our Oakland ACE counselor, who's been with the program since its creation. She's an experienced and licensed school counselor and has worked for the College Board. Her wealth of experience and engaging lessons in seminar truly help seminars succeed. It is another main difference between dual enrollment and early college. She provides monitoring of students' grades through seminar and attendance. And if students' grades are below 70% or if they're missing class, she'll begin working with them and putting a plan together in order to help them succeed. And we communicate that to you as a parent and the sending school counselor. We also take care of communicating all of your grades and the classes that you're taking to your sending school counselor so that students aren't caught kind of having to carry information back and forth. Another important part, of seminar is the individualized support students get in choosing their classes. Many students are working towards an associate's degree, and they can choose between 4 of them in our program: arts, business administration, science, and the technical sciences. Those 4 are the ones that we are allowed to pay for 62 credits, and you can earn within 62 credits. I'm going to explain a couple of things about how it might differ, and sometimes students decide to forego the associate's degree because they end up wanting to transfer to a particular college, and the associate's degree classes don't transfer as well as other classes. And they can definitely make those choices. The really great thing about seminar is that's when students identify with their seminar counselor that that's the route they're taking, and they're actually pulling up the transfer guides from the universities that they want to go to align those transfer classes. We do encourage students, especially when they're in this exploratory 11th grade year, to take classes from the Michigan Transfer Agreement. So you can go to OCC's website and just type in the search Michigan Transfer Agreement and see the hundreds of classes that are offered. The reason why we encourage students to choose from this agreement are because when this was originally created between the universities in Michigan, these are the classes that they agreed to, by and large part, take from one another. Now, they don't all transfer beautifully back and forth, and I'll show you some things with transfer guides coming up. But these are the classes that are most likely to transfer. And if your student is in those stages where they don't know where they're going after the program, then it's really great to just rely on these Michigan Transfer Agreement classes in areas where they are highly interested. So when we're first picking the 11th grade year classes, students do meet for 90 minutes with an OCC counselor, and they choose their 2 classes for the fall. And by and large part, they are from the Michigan Transfer Agreement. And focusing on the Michigan Transfer Agreement also allows our students to obtain an additional endorsement. So we keep track of students' progress through the entire program with something called a 3-year plan. This is shared with the student and the sending school counselor so that we know kind of what the student is planning to take. You can see in this plan, for example, that the student is working on an associate's in arts. In their fall semester, their 11th grade year, they took 2 classes, communications and social studies, for a total of 6 classes. And then we keep track of progress, and these plans change all the time. We can change the associates the student is working towards. We can change the classes that they're going to take. And then you'll see here some spaces for summer. So summer is not part of the program. If students want to take summer classes, those are self-pay. But we do have a lot of students who are choosing to do that because they're trying for additional degrees or college credits to transfer. So this is just an example of a high school 3-year plan. Another part of being an early college program is that we do have to hold a graduation requirement until the last year of the program. So on the final left-hand corner, you'll see under winter high school requirement. So we agree with the high school counselor and the student ahead of time which of those classes we're going to withhold, and they're not allowed to take that class until their final year of the program, and then they will take that class and graduate. The opposite semester of their high school requirement, students will take a math or math-related class, and we're very liberal with what we consider math-related classes and make sure those are in line with what students want to take. But those things, those unique things that happen in the last year of the program are, again, requirements from the state of Michigan that we're not allowed to kind of differ from at all. I'm often asked about transfer credits, and so the perception or some thoughts out there that perhaps community college classes don't transfer is something that I want to be able to make sure and answer for you. So a lot of the time we're working with families who want to know, what will definitely transfer to certain schools. And our research and what we know from working with admissions offices are that it is different literally by department at each university. So we do this with students. We have multiple seminar sessions where we talk with them about how to use transfer guides. They have the time in seminar to actually pull up these types of documents. But we start with the broader lens. Like you can see, this is U of M's overall transfer agreement policy and what they'll accept. Then you can narrow down even more. This is why I say by department, because your student might decide that they were working on the associates of business, and now they want to go ahead and see what will exactly transfer to U of M School of Business. So they're going to search and look for those classes will transfer to the specific college. So the kind of the faster, but again, we want to make sure students are solid on these decisions, that they can narrow down what they're interested in working towards. It does help them to be able to choose the classes that will transfer. And you can see all of the OCC classes that U of M College of Business will transfer and what they'll transfer them in as, I'm sorry. And then, U of M and other universities, I could be using any one of our great universities, honestly, as an example here. They really do a lot from our perception to try and bridge community college students into their program. So here's an example of a resource that we provide for our students, how we can successfully transfer students from OCC to U of M. But this is an entire resource just to help students like early college students be able to transfer. And these are really great tips and things that we work with students actively in during seminar. OCC also has a whole transfer guide section where they've gone ahead and identified a lot of the different universities our students are looking to go towards, and linking you right to a resource that you can go ahead and, this is where I was before, searching specifically what will transfer. And then there's different transfer events. I'm always impressed by this because I've seen some happening on campus. They're offered live, they're offered virtual, but there are constantly people on OCC's campuses from these different colleges explaining to students how to transfer the most classes possible. So it's just been really great to see how invested the colleges and universities in our state seem to be with transferring college credit. So program requirements, I'll just talk about eligibility. The minimum GPA to apply is 2.0. Students must be on track to graduate or have a plan to be on track to graduate. So if the student has recently not passed their geometry class, but they have a plan to take geometry for summer school, then we can go ahead and take a look at them enrolling. It's not a problem. Your high school counselor or administrator does need to authorize your participation, and they do that. I'll explain that as part of the enrollment process through a form that they fill out for us. You have to be enrolled in one of our participating Oakland County high schools, and the best time to enroll is December 1st to March 1st or March 2nd, because that will help you be able to take advantage of our registration window. We get preferential registration at OCC, which has to happen by March 23rd. We can enroll students after March 1st, especially if your district is all for it. Many districts will allow students to enroll through June 1st, actually, just as long as you have that schedule tightened up and your classes changed before you head into summer break. But it narrows the amount of the classes that we can choose from because we lose our preferential scheduling window at that point. So, through the course of our program and different enrollment requirements that we've had, our students this past year, we're super proud. Just want to brag a little bit, but this is a trend that we've kind of seen steadily in the program and one of the highest in the state of Michigan. So the cohort, that just graduated, 65% of them earned their associate's degree, 77% went to a four-year college in their average GPA of 3.36. They also on average earned 58 credits. And then we can see here where some of our different graduates went, like Oakland University, Michigan State, or U of M Ann Arbor, Michigan State, and things like that. So we're really proud of how hard our students have been working and where they end up going. And they keep in contact. So that is great. Before I explain the enrollment process, I'll stop again to see if there are any questions that I can answer, either in the chat or through unmuting, whatever your most. Our enrollment process is described completely on our website. And though we have a process, I do want to say that another changing demographic of our students is the need to have things really personalized for them. And I am A-okay with that. I have a 7th and 9th grade son, and they definitely need things re-explained multiple times, sometimes with pictures and acting out. So I'm going to describe the process, but if your family and your kiddo need something specific to meet their needs, no problem. My contact information is on the website, and I'm willing to meet with you virtually, phone call, meet you at a Starbucks, and get you through the process. It is spelled out here. If you can see under enrollment steps, these all open up as drop-down windows. And there is one overall document here that goes step by step, step 1, step 2, step 3, and gets you through the entire process. Now, again, I know that it's kind of a lot to ask students to read this whole process and get through it, so I'm happy to help. One way I do help is, for example, when you see step 1 here, apply online. After the student applies, I send them a PDF infographic that says, congratulations, step 1 is done, you are here. And they get step 2 again. So that not only goes to the student, but also to the parent and their high school counselor. And then the rest of the process online, they'll complete pre-enrollment. This is about 10 minutes. It's just demographic information. And that comes right to me. They immediately will get an email saying, congratulations, step 1 is done. The next thing we need is this high school dual enrollment form. There are 2 steps in the process sometimes that students get hung up. Here's the first one. This form, part 1, is signed by the student and the parent, and then it's taken to the high school counselor or high school administrator. They put right here Oakland ACE classes, they sign it, they note that you're going to Oakland ACE. They can return this to the student or parent, and then you can email it back to me. They can return this to me themselves. They can upload this into a student information MyStar portal we have. There are several different ways it can come back, and because of that, sometimes that gets a little clunky. This form is what OCC needs so that when students apply to OCC, they can match this form with your application and say you're approved for early college. So that is one tough part of the process, but we get a lot of students through it. Step 2 is completing the OCC application. So first, students complete a profile, which is very fast. And then they have the option to continue to complete their OCC application, or they can wait and do that at a later time. They'll get an email that finally says they are accepted to OCC. Congratulations. And then at that point, they're going to go into something called, and this is all spelled out in the document that I brought up here. At that point, they're going to go into something called My OCC. They're going to create their email and complete these steps right here. You'll see something called an English self-placement. So it's no longer a placement test that students take. They answer some questions about themselves as a reader or writer, and they can self-place. They must self-place in the English 1510 or 1510E for enhanced. I love the enhanced section if anybody is interested in that, because it adds an extra study credit and structured required study component for students. So that's an option. And then once they have completed all those things in My OCC, they are doing the old-fashioned pick up a phone, or I'm sorry, not pick up, but get on their cell phone and calling the OCC counseling office, letting them know they're an Oakland ACE student, and scheduling that 90-minute incoming required OCC counseling appointment. We ask that you try and schedule with these counselors, but you do not have to. There are many wonderful counselors, especially and adjunct staff, who are getting to know more about our program. These are just the counselors who know the most right now about our program. They're going to offer you the opportunity to come in person, do a phone call or a virtual visit. I love the in-person option if you can take advantage of that, because then you'll start to get to know them and hopefully work with them for the 3 years of the program. There are some things you need to know for the OCC counseling appointment, and those steps are spelled out right here, but you really just need to know your scheduling constraints so that when they talk to you about the 40 different composition sections that are available to you, you know where that will fit into your schedule. And that's what these bullet points walk you through here. And then finally, you're going to be registering for your OCC classes. So you'll fill out with your counselor this form. The counselor has this form, so you don't have to worry about bringing it. You're going to enter the classes that you're going to take. And then this is another part that sometimes students get hung up on, is now you're a college student and it does require your signature down here at the bottom of the form, and then you or your counselor to send it to me and I send it into enrollment. So our students don't freely schedule in My OCC. They can use the scheduling planning tool, but as far as actually committing to getting into a class, that does have to still be approved by Oakland ACE staff, myself, and then later on Ms. DeYoung. But the process is laid out here on the website. And then also we have a PDF document. And again, students will get those, students, parents, and the sending school counselor will get those reminders through every step of the process. If you need any help applying to OCC, they do have these really great sessions that are offered all of the time for you to Zoom with them, and they can help you if you're experiencing any difficulties with their platform. But things have been pretty great as long as we have that dual enrollment form with them. I'll stay on, but other than that, that is the end of the presentation. And again, thank you so much for being here.